and practicing in a community where the doctor to patient ratio is so wide, and you can see the needs are really there, and there's just much that you can do, and you become very aware of just so many things that you can do, despite the fact that you spent a lot of time in school being trained to practice. And so as a result of that, I had to step out a little bit into the community and do some work while still practicing clinical medicine. And now I'm going into full-time public health practice. And to be able to sit down and see that there are different problems that happen in our community, and these problems end up impacting people's health in very unique ways. And whatever happens in the community ends up in the hospital. It shows up in the hospital in different forms. But at the level of the hospital, at times, we're really not, things meet you at the hospital level when there's very little that you can do at times, unfortunately. And at times, you can actually manage the problem, but you will not stop others from experiencing the same problems in the community. And so you keep being like the last line of defense, and that can be very disturbing. And it's one of the reasons why I developed keen interest in working with young people and really just making sure that as a community, we are having the discussions that should be discussions that are important, and that we are pushing for habits, behavior change, and even the need to have more knowledge and more information on what different experiences that we have, different determinants in the community that have an impact in the health of children, the health of young people, and the health of everyone else in the community. So this day we are talking about Aviva. And like I said, Aviva has become such a name that embodies a lot for us. And so I am going to hold my peace here because we have a very interesting agenda ahead of us. And to ask, I don't know, James, who's going to help us to share the video, the Aviva Day video. We have a very short video that we are going to show now. That kind of, obviously, the Aviva Day, we've done a lot of activities in honor of the Aviva Day, but this is just something very brief, just a brief highlight to remind us some beautiful memories from some of the Aviva Day celebration highlights that we've had in the past. So we are going to take some time and have that now and then jump into our program.
Hello, Dr. Jackie. I don't know, can we move to the next part of the agenda before we come into sharing the video? Because it's getting mounted.
Okay, that sounds fine. I'm going to call on Christina and Hans now, because you have a lot of time that we are actually beating, because we are very honored and eager to hear from you, talk about, just share anything you have in your mind in respect to why we are here today and what we are doing, and just welcome everyone and let us know why we are here. So we are eager to hear from you. The mic is yours now. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you, Dr. Jackie, and thank you to all the OpenDreams community, those that are here and those that are watching the recording as well. We know that, you know, there's been a tremendous amount of work that's been put into, you know, making this happen, making this collaboration happen. And we know the seeds of that have been planted really just shortly after Aviva transitioned, and she went to heaven on November 18th, 2020. We were completely taken aback and completely touched by all of the initiative taken on by OpenDreams, in particular the youth of OpenDreams, the mentors, the mentees and scholars, going out into the community, going out to neonatal wards, bringing joy and bringing happiness and song and holiday cheer to all of those mothers and fathers and especially babies that are going through a lot of pain, a lot of suffering, a lot of conditions that maybe not deserved in terms of in terms of what health condition they're dealing with. And so I just wanted to take a little bit of time and really give you a little bit of our daughter and share a few photos. I know PowerPoint presentations are usually something that happen, but hopefully you can see this. I think pictures really tell 1,000 words, and so through these pictures, we just wanted to share really Aviva, but almost more so what she symbolizes and what she represents for us. And you can see here that she's completely in love with her siblings. She loves her older siblings, Hansito and Sophia, as well as her newest sister, Liliana. I wanted to talk a little about her characteristics and who she was. Aviva has completely had this youthful joy about her. She was always smiling, always very happy, and just a ray of sunshine, ray of light. And we believe that through Aviva Day and through all of the activities associated with it, this ray of light is continuing to live. They say that your physical form can die and will die for all of us, but your love for that person and the soul of that person can still live on and will still live on. And we believe through everything she is. Just wanted to share one thing with regards to her symbol, and this is kind of her logo. It represents everlasting life with the candle, with the flame, as well as a butterfly, which represents transformation in a different life. That's something that we have become very familiar with, and we believe that her energy and who she was as a person is really transforming, and so we from the bottom of our heart we thank you for carrying that torch that you see here. And so if you look closely, you can see with the butterfly wings there, they spell A, and then you have V's, and so it's ends up being Aviva. I'm going to share two more photos with you. Second. Okay. So just another thing about Aviva is she had an incredible amount of resilience. She had been in the hospital for 6 different times throughout her life, and through every single one of those, she really conveyed this amazing resilience, where she was able to get back up and really, no matter how many tests they performed on her, she had just a resilient attitude. And we see that in the research grants that we're giving, that we're doing, as well as the scholarships, as well as the community health outreach. She really, I believe, would be very proud about that. And then finally, one thing about Aviva's, she had just an amazing amount of compassion, compassion for other people, compassion for, she would always lift us up if you're having a bad day, and she could just crack a smile, and she would be just this again radiant charm. And so we see that through a lot of the activities. There's a tremendous amount of compassion, and again, she still lives on through everything. So I can't tell you how much this means to us, but more so how much it means to the community, to the recipients to the lives that can be changed from a lot of these actions. And so we've been part of OpenDreams from the very beginning, from its foundations 8 years ago, and we've seen tremendous amount of scholars go on to really fulfill their dreams and build a great career for themselves. But really with
whether it's by scholarship or it's by admission.
Sorry, if you're not speaking, could you be on mute, please?
Yeah, normally.
But really at the ethos, at the core of OpenDreams, we really believe in creating better opportunities through building bridges to opportunities, and really lowering those barriers to whatever road that takes oneself. And we know that starts, with health. Education is very important, but if you don't have your health, then it's hard to achieve anything. And so this is a very important, I would say, initiative for OpenDreams. Very, very different from what we've done in the past, but we're very hopeful, and we're very honored to be a small part of it. And again, thank you for carrying our daughter Aviva's life. And I'll let Christine say some words.
Good evening, everybody. As you can tell, it's morning out here for us in San Diego, California. I just want to give, maybe we can stop screen sharing. A big thank you to everybody at OpenDreams, to all of our scholars, to Mr. Kava James, and to Dr. Jackie, and everyone who's been helping launch the Aviva initiative, the Aviva Women in Science Fund. Just hearing Jackie say that Aviva's name has so much resonance and has gone so far already, it really melts my heart. I think probably a lot of people on this call are parents or aunts or uncles, or you have little siblings, or little people in your life that you love. And you can imagine that losing a child is one of the most heartbreaking things anyone can experience. And it's been such a joy, and just so heartwarming to see kind of OpenDreams take that loss and really honor Aviva's life right away with the Aviva Day, and also now with the Aviva Women in Science Fund, to be able to use her life and her legacy to help expand services to those who don't have them in the medical field, and to help others who are interested in studying neonatal and women health, to give them the opportunity to do that via scholarship and grants is just tremendously exciting for us. And as Mr. Kava James said, it's also a huge new step for us, which is really exciting as an organization, to move from just educational service to now also public health services, which to me is just extremely exciting. Hans here always wanted to be a doctor. I am scared of blood, so not me, but I have always admired doctors tremendously. And so to be able to support the work of doctors and aspiring doctors in Cameroon is just tremendously heartwarming for me. So I just want to give a big thank you to everyone who's worked so long and hard on these. And I'm very excited to read applications of anyone who's applying. So please help us get the word out. And just a very happy Sunday to everyone. And thank you so much for being here. Pass the baton back to Dr. Jackie.
Thank you very much, Hans and Christina. It was such a pleasure listening to you, and thank you for sharing those beautiful pictures again. We will never cease to not only to appreciate both of you, but to talk about the significance of this gesture. I will say this act from your end to turn something that was so painful, and we can make something out of it that is so beautiful and is going to have a lasting impact. This is very enlightening and something that we can all learn and apply in our lives, because life at times brings those hard hits to us, but it's really possible to change the clock and point it towards where we wanted to point and make something really, really beautiful out of something that initially was quite a challenge. So thank you very much for sharing those words. So we have a lot of interesting things today on the agenda. And Dr. Ndip, I know that you are a student. Unfortunately for you, I'm not longer a student, so I'm happy to call out students. We know that you're a student, and the Aviva initiative has so many buckets, and we want to give you the floor now, if you're ready to speak about one of the buckets, and especially the one around research and the grants that will be given out under this amazing initiative. So, Doc, the mic is yours. So we're giving you a couple of minutes to present, 10 minutes about the research grant.
Hi, Jackie. Thank you so much. So I think it's it's an honor to speak immediately after Hans and Christina. And so actually, this is an exciting project for anyone who is involved. And I want to use this opportunity to thank OpenDreams for the opportunity that it is giving to youth, especially the Cameroonian youth, not just to dream, but to accomplish their dream in Cameroon and beyond. And to thank Hans and Christina, because it's not all the time that you see people who have had a painful loss and decided to do something about it. So the fact that you are using this opportunity to use maybe different channels like research, like community health programs to improve the quality of lives of mothers and children and neonates, it's really something commendable. And I think that is the most exciting part about this program. So I'll be really brief. So if you don't know me, I'm Dr. Valerie Ndip. I was trained as a medical doctor in Cameroon and then went on to do a master's in epidemiology, and I'm currently doing a PhD in population health at the University of Oxford. And I'm also involved in various research activities in OpenDreams, in HERO, and at the Pan-African Medical Journal as a scientific editor. So I'll talk today mostly about the research grant for the Aviva program, and there are two research grants for this program. So there's a research grants for students, and there's grants for early career and established researchers in Cameroon. So briefly, all of the information that you will need for the application has already been prepared and is on the website. But talking about the research grants for students, so what we will be looking for these grants, we'll be looking for mostly female medical students who are at the end of their medical program. So in Cameroon, usually it should be the seventh year. But not just that, we are looking for people who plan to do their thesis in maternal and child health, and they have a passion for this area of research. It's true that this period is just an introduction into research, but before going into that area of research, we assume that you already have a passion for maternal and child health. And during the interviews, these are some of the things that we are going to be looking for. So we'll be looking for passion, we'll be looking for academic excellence, and we'll be looking for people who have a financial need. And the last thing, so those are the preliminaries, but the last thing that we are going to consider, which will cover a major part of the application process, is your research proposal. So we'll be looking at the robustness of the methods that you propose, taking into consideration that you are just entering into research, and we'll be looking at the clarity of your methods. So the grants for early career researchers and established researchers is quite similar. to what we have already talked about, but this time will be stricter. So for the student grant, so we already listed some of the things that we are going to cover. So I will just go through that. But for the early career researchers, we will be stricter when it comes to the methods. So we'll be stricter when it comes to, because you have the application process for early career researchers will entail some essays that you need to write. So you need to demonstrate clearly how your proposed project is going to improve maternal and child health. So it must not be a super project, but it should be a project that contributes knowledge into the scientific field. So it could be something that generates a new knowledge that we do not know about. Jackie, please stop me if it's time. So it could be new knowledge on something that we do not know about. It could be knowledge on a practice that we are currently doing, because we could still be doing a certain practice which does not benefit either the patient or the mother or the child. So it could be something around those areas. And concerning the theme, we are quite broad, and we are considering from laboratory works to surveys and even policies or review of policy documents. So briefly, that's all about it, and I'm happy to answer any question and clarify any doubts concerning the application process.
Great, thank you very much, Dr. Nzib. Knowing your love and devotion for research, it's such a wonderful thing to have you on board on this, and that you're going to be looking at these applications, and wishing all the best to those who have an interest to apply. We're encouraging everyone who has an interest around maternal and child health, living in Bamenda, to give this, living in Cameroon, to give this a shot. If you have any question, please, you can share that in the chat box. And but if, okay, yeah, you can send in the chat box, but we can also share, we'll also make sure to share the email address of OpenDreams. You can also send your questions through that address, any specific question. That was just one of the buckets from the many buckets that we have in this initiative. And now we'll be moving to the next one. I know last year we had a very trying to look for the right word to describe the feeling that we had last year with Dr. Nuela and Brenda, just lighting up the entire place with a very powerful video talking about the significance of the Aviva Day. And so it's a wonderful thing, again, to be able to hear from Dr. Nguayama to talk to us about the need-based application, which is one of the buckets within this initiative. Dr. Nguayama, are you there and ready to speak to us about this?
Yes, yes, I'm ready. Yeah. Okay. Once again, I just want to thank you, Dr. Jackie, for giving me the floor. And I want to use this opportunity to thank Hans and Christina for this wonderful initiative. And it's my honor to be part of this innovative idea, because this is really something I'm passionate about when it comes to the health of mothers and children. So it's really something applaudable. So I'm Dr. Nguayama Nuelam. I completed my medical studies in the University of Bamenda. That's the first batch medical school in Bamenda. So I work at the Regional Hospital Bamenda. I'm the founder of Talk Pregnancy with Dr. Nuela, which is an organization which helps to target the health of mother and children and improving their lives and decreasing maternal and neonatal mortality. So today I'm going to be talking about the need-based scholarship. That's the merit and need-based scholarship. It's actually going to, so I'll just give a brief presentation on it. Everything is on the website where you have to know about it. So with this scholarship, it's given to students, it's given to female medical students who are within the 4th year, 5th year, and 6th year. And why did we choose this year? Because at least we know that by the clinical years, you already have something, you already have a mastery of what you want to be. You have gone through medical school for at least 3 or 4 years, and you already have where you want to target yourself, where your interest is. So because with this need-based scholarship, we need people who are passionate about maternal and neonatal health. Because once, if you're at the 1st year, you're just entering into medical practice, you don't really know about it. So that's why we decided to start at the clinical years. So it means you need to be either at the 4th year, 5th year, or 6th year. And this is given till completion of your degree. So, and a maximum of 3 years. So if you have the scholarship during the 5th year, it takes you through till you complete your degree. So this is really an applaudable effect, a really great opportunity to women out there. So what is the eligibility criteria? Who are those eligible to apply for this scholarship? So these are, you need to be enrolled in a state-owned medical school in Cameroon. So it should not be the private universities. It should be the state-owned medical schools in Cameroon, please. Then you should be in the 4th year, 5th, or 6th year. You should be a female. So this is to promote female leadership, promote and increase women in science and technology, and bridging the gap too between gender inequality. So that's why we go in for female. Then we need an excellent academic standing. So that means that for the last 3 years, you should demonstrate an excellent academic from your transcript or other documents which can be given from your school. So in this kind of case, from your transcript, at least we should be expecting a GPA of above 3. This shows that you are a serious person, and we are giving it to someone who can be able to think and also go further in the lives of mother and child. Also, those who are facing financial needs, we are trying to bridge the gap of people who have financial problems, and yet we believe that everybody has equal rights to education and to the best of education. So you should not be able to further your studies because you don't have a financial means. So those who have a financial problem and you have a great academic backup and you are a female with interest on maternal and neonatal health, these are the people we are looking for. So the lives of mothers and children, it's very precious to us. So we need to see that passion, that dedication you have for the life of mothers and children. And in this, once you get this scholarship, we need to see how you can bring up innovative ideas and participating voluntarily in organizations to help in the community in order to promote the health of mother and children. So once you are offered, or if you are selected, we are expecting you to bring up great ideas to work on this, or we need to see an act of volunteerism, an act of you bringing out the passion in mother and child health, because that is what is precious to us. So we encourage all of you out there who are in this eligibility criteria to take the chance, because you don't know, this might be just the chance you needed to bring you to the spotlight or to one great future that you were looking for. So we hope this goes a long way to help mother and child health. Thank you very much for giving me the floor.
Thank you, Dr. Nguyema. It's such a pleasure. When you speak, you can hear the passion, someone whose work really holds mothers and children's health at heart. So thank you for sharing those tips and that information. So if you're not within that category, senior medical student from 4th year to the 6th year, but you know of someone who attends a state university, please do send the word. Someone who is, so it's not just for everyone, obviously people who are struggling and might have a financial challenge and needs additional support to be able to go through their final years in med school. So these are the people who will, and when the application will be hosted on the OpenDreams website, all of these details will be there as well. You can check, and if you have any specific question, Dr. Ngwayama can always help answer your questions under this particular pocket. So now we are going to move forward to the third pocket. Like we said, there are many of them. So we have the third one, and Dr. Brenda Tani Tal is going to talk to us about the community health grant. So amazing, 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 amazing. Dr. Brenda, are you here with us? Great, the mic is yours. Thank you. Brenda, you're still on mute. Do you want to unmute yourself? Great.
Okay, yeah. Can you hear me now? Can
Yes.
you hear me now? Oh,
Yes.
great.
I can hear you.
So hello, everybody. It's really wonderful to meet you all. I'm honored to be a co-host today to talk to you about this wonderful and amazing opportunity that I believe you must grab. So I am Dr. Brenda Tani Tal. I am an MSc candidate at the University of Oxford. I'm studying international health and tropical medicine. Yeah, I'm part of the OpenDreams team, and it's a great honor that we are able to offer these awards out to eligible candidates. I believe you shouldn't miss them out. I want to share my screen right now. I don't know if you can see.
Not yet.
Now?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, let me enlarge this. Perfect. Okay, so now, okay, I'll be describing it. I hope this is not it. Okay, perfect. Yeah. So we'll be providing assistance to women in leadership roles. Our target is women that have been, in the field for some time, that have carried out health campaigns, specifically, geared towards children, women. If you are that person that either is a leader of an organization or is a member of an organization that seeks to reach out to women and children in any form, is it through consultations, through medical campaigns in underserved areas. If you're a leader in one of those, you play an active role. You don't need to be a leader. Wonderful project to us. You're capable of receiving funding. I'm going to go through eligibility criteria very soon. So we are looking at a period of about 2, 3, 4, 5 to 6 months even. Whatever you have as a project, if it is, it will be presented, and then we're going to go through it and then decide whether it's worth funding or not. So yeah, the eligibility criteria. So the main applicant has to be, 1, a part of an established organization targeting mother and children. 2, she has to be a woman in the leadership position in her organization. The team has to could be composed of people, from diverse gender and ages, but the main applicant has to be 35 years or below. So yeah, that's our main eligibility criteria. The organization has to maybe have been there for about a year at least. I mean, that's the least we can take. You can be, maybe if you're existing for about a year plus, like 3, 4, 5 years is even better for us, because the more the experience, the better. So yes. What is the deadline? So the application begins on May 1st, as we mentioned earlier on, and it will be closing on June the 1st, 2022. We are going to now meet and then decide, call for, if you're eligible, if you meet the criteria and your project is worth funding, we're going to have an interview with you, and then yes, that's how it's going to evolve. The amount is from 2 to 2.5 million francs CFA. As we said, we expect a detailed budget, and based on what you present, we are able to give you this amount. And yes, basically that's it all. You would go to the has been put out within the website. You would see the details, what questions you have to answer. There are about 5 or 6 questions worth about 250 words, and then there's a short video that would like you to present, 2 to 3 minutes, just yourself, your plans, your dreams, what you plan to do with the amount. And yes, basically that. So that's it about the community health part. If you have any questions, you could either, I don't know if our host, Dr. Jackie, will indicate when you could maybe come in with your questions, and yeah, as we go ahead. So that will be it. Let me stop there. Yes, so Dr. Jackie, over to you.
Thank you very much, Brenda, for sharing with us what particular pocket stands for and the opportunities. I think this gives us, the other ones were limited more to medical students or people who are doing research, but now this is open to, you might not even be a student or someone who is research oriented, but you're doing some work in the community for children and women and girls. This is an opportunity for you. Or you know someone who is serving an organization, a young woman who is passionate and just needs additional assistance. I bet you most women, when you're working in a small organization and you're really doing something in the community, you're solving tangible problems, but at times accessing funds can be a real challenge. And so having something like this will go a long way to ease the work and enable advocates and who are doing a lot of work in the community to have a tangible impact. So very excited and looking forward to those wonderful applications. Now we are going to move forward to having a brief presentation from Dr. Lem Ngogala, who is going to talk to us about strengthening research collaboration in Africa. Please, Doctor, the mic is yours now.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you, Jackie, for the introduction. I'm really glad to be here with you all, and it was really wonderful hearing about the Aviva Fund. I think it's a great opportunity, really, and a great way to do research, use research to do something meaningful. And research it's a way that you can do something that can be remembered and something that can have an impact. And I think that aligns very well with the beautiful life of Aviva, as we already heard about. So as a woman in science myself, and also as a researcher, I really just wanted to add my voice in encouraging other women to join the cause. So it is a beautiful experience, I would say, and there's joy in knowing that you're contributing to your society and doing something that can have an impact on the lives of others. So some of you would have already met me and know me already. So I'm going to be talking a little bit about Core Africa, which is a research organization. I am the founder and program coordinator of Core Africa, and our work really involves raising awareness on the importance of research and just getting people to understand why research is important and how research can be useful in developing our communities, developing our societies, and generally tackling the challenges that we have all around us, which is part of what the Aviva Fund is all about. And some of the work that we also do involves identifying challenges that we face with doing research, especially in the African context. For students and young researchers, there's lots of challenges when it comes to doing research. So we do try to encourage that motivation. We do try to encourage that inspiration and getting people to love research. But then when you get into it, there can also be challenges. It's not very easy. It's not always a piece of cake. So we go out to understand the challenges that are there, have conversations around these challenges, and also try to look at what can be done about these challenges, and how we can support the work of students and young researchers. So we do provide support in various ways. We've got different programs that we deliver. Some of them include research webinars. So we provide webinars to students and young researchers on various aspects of research, and we also provide workshops in that respect. We also have a mentorship program. All of this is found on the Core Africa website. We have a mentorship program where we connect students and young researchers with a mentor to guide you on the process of doing your research project. There's been some changes on the mentorship program over the last year for anyone who's been part of that program before, but that program is there. So we are happy to support, if anyone is looking to apply for the Aviva Fund, we are happy to support you with maybe your proposal writing, and just generally putting your ideas together. And also personally, I am in the maternal and child health space. So I also work as a public health researcher at Newcastle University, and I've been working over the last 6 years on various projects relating to maternal and child health. And so it's a very personal and a cause for me. So I think, this all works out very beautifully. So I'm very happy to support anyone also in that respect. Improving the lives of mothers and children is one of the public health priorities worldwide. And I think it's such an important field. So I would really just like to encourage anyone who has any ideas in that direction to put some ideas down. And you can reach out to us, you can reach out to me, you can reach out to Core Africa, and we will support you as much as we can. So another one of our programs as well, we do have our research club, which initially was just for pre-university students and just generally trying to get students interested in research from a young age. Because at the moment, the way it works, especially in the African setting, is you get through school, you get to the university, you get to a certain point and you have to do a research project, but you really never learned anything about doing research. You've really never been exposed even to why research is necessary. Why am I doing this? Why am I being asked to do research? And so at that point, it gets really frustrating for some students. It can get very difficult. So we're trying to encourage people from a very young age to understand why research is important. And recently, we've also been engaging with a lot of university students. Some of them are medical students, some of them are students from other fields. So we just come together and we take part in activities that they're not research related. So we do games and other different types of fun activities. And by participating in these activities, you're learning a thing or two about research. So far, the events that we've had with the Core Africa Research Club have all been at the OpenDreams Center in Yaoundé, and they've always been wonderful. So I would also just like to use this medium to say that, we would have more of these programs coming up. So if you do hear about them, feel free to check it out. You might learn a thing or two about research, and that could help you with your applications, could be now or later in the future. So about the Aviva Fund application, like I said before, we are happy to support anyone looking to apply. If you've got any questions, if you're struggling with anything related to research, feel free to reach out to us. Once I'm done speaking, I'm going to leave our website in the chat and also an email address that you can reach out to us. But you could also reach out to us through Mr. Kaba James or through OpenDreams, because we do work together. We do a lot of projects together. And I just want to say once more, a very big thank you to Hans and Christina for this opportunity. I think it's just a brilliant way to really, it's taking a negative experience and transforming it into something positive, not necessarily for yourself, but for others. And that's really commendable. So yeah, just to say a big thank you. And it's great to know that this is available for people to take advantage of. So do take advantage of these opportunities, because we don't have them every day. So yeah, thank you so much and have a great day.
Thank you very much, Lem. It was so nice to hear from you. And the fact that your organization will be supporting anyone who needs support, putting together their research concept to submit for this grant. So thank you very much. Okay, a lot of scientists have been talking about science and talking about, now we will want to hear from Mr. Kaba, who is the engine, the main part of the engine that keeps us going as an organization. It's always a pleasure to listen to him talk. So Mr. Kaba, please, you have the floor now. Thank you.
Hello, Dr. Jackie Funko. Thank you for this opportunity. Hello, everyone. I am losing myself just listening to all the great voices address this issue. I'm actually losing my voice. I'm like feeling overjoyed with the great speaking, the intellectual power, and the mission we are engaged in. It was in 2020 when COVID-19 shut down the world. That tells us the role of research, the place of science, the place of medicine in our world. We often believe that after God, the next set of people you have are doctors. And what makes doctors doctors is the research, the medical, how that the medical work that they, they provide to sustaining lives. Hans and Christina Hans, thank you enormously for this amazing opportunity. I think when I look around Cameroon and most parts of the world, within the early access network, I've not seen any organization that is doing this incredible work that we're doing. Again, we always say that when you have the grades, when you have the A grades, when you've learned a lot, what do you do with that wisdom? What are we doing differently from what is already existing? And this research program is that which really puts us into perspective. I'm happy with all the doctors who came together to work these things out, to help us really step up quality. In fact, it took mankind many years to hit the moon. And mankind is just striving to hit the sun someday. Maybe our initiative will be that which will take mankind to the sun. I just listened to Dr. Ngogala speak. I think last time during the summer academy, she did incredible work called Africa, positioning OpenDreams scholars towards quality research. Because every time we talk about research that comes from is done in the US, is done in Europe, is done elsewhere. It is time now that we are able to generate our own research that fits specific conditions. And again, it touches my heart so much because the level at which our institutions are now, they were not like that yesterday. Somebody did something to take them to where they are. And now we are putting in our own contribution to move that further apart. The generations may not do things in equal measure. There are some that do far more than others. In fact, one of our common statements at OpenDreams is, we are the generation that we have been waiting for. And I'm happy that we are living up to that expectation. One of the major things that we have to take account of is our newly acquired consultative status with the United Nations. The United Nations by itself will not be if it doesn't rely on the pool of experts involved in the field, carrying out research, cutting-edge research, and doing incredible things, testing things, and getting success strategies. And with this level of recognition accorded us by the United Nations, we no longer need to do things like local people. We need to do things believing that they have the potential to benefit the rest of the world, to benefit mankind. And with that regards, it therefore means that we need to step up the standards. And that is why we have the role of professionals in this aspect. Like you see that the medical doctors who are leading the team, the role of organizations like Core Africa is very, very important. And when we talk about research, and with regards to the Aviva Day, we don't forget about the incredible work too that is being done by other members of the OpenDreams organization in promoting this research. We have Dr. Edi Musumbe, who works at the regional hospital. He has been like, when is this program getting started? And I'm happy to see him attending a meeting, just like the amazing work that Gilbert McKee has been doing in promoting research on hepatitis, with Dr. Mundi working through on epilepsy, diseases that are neglected in our area. In fact, a few years, I don't know if that has changed. When we have a child that suffers from some anomaly, we know the kind of names we give in our community. Sometimes we say Ebanje, we say all type of religious things that we should have, rather committed such attention into conducting research to alleviate our suffering, to raise human standards. Up to this moment, you realize that the Human Development Index for Africa is still low. The mortality rate is still low. If you need to spend like a week inside the nursery of the hospital to see how frequently people die. And when you see how frequently children die, you count yourself lucky to have made it. Because that transition from the womb right to outside is such a miraculous thing that human understanding is still a little bit limited. So I'm happy that we are confronting this, we're getting deep into understanding, we are driving medicine to the next level. So at this point, by the time we finish this, we'll expect from the message from Hans and Christina, we have a new depth of understanding of the Aviva phenomenon. It's no longer just an Aviva Day. We're going into Aviva scholars, in fact, a lot about Aviva. And that's what makes OpenDreams, that's like the pride of OpenDreams. We know every nation has a national day. Every person celebrates a birthday, somebody celebrates the day they got married, a very special day. This is the most special thing about OpenDreams, the most special thing about OpenDreams. If you talk about OpenDreams without talking about Aviva, you've not said it all. If there's an Aviva Day event, I don't participate in it, I wonder if you're at OpenDreams. So these are things we need to have deep in our mind and see how we really take this community engagement forward. Because if universities should come to us, why should I take you to this university? We have a lot of things to say. In fact, I may not want to talk more and more. We will be sharing a couple of videos online, a couple of pictures. Please make Aviva trendy. Make Aviva trendy. By these actions, we are appealing to the consciences of even governments that are neglecting investing money on research, that are neglecting some areas of health, that they should know that they need to pay attention. Because within our country, a lot is invested in politics, on football, music, and things that sometimes do not immediately benefit mankind. So I'm happy that we are refocusing attention on things that are very important, because this falls under SDG number 3. And if you're not healthy, nothing else matters to you. I'm going to stop at this point and pass it back to Dr. Jackie.
Thank you very much, James. It's always a wonderful experience listening to you. And thank you for capturing that. I've been struggling with the word to use. So it's the Aviva phenomenon. So when we hear about that, we know what that means. It's more than just a day. It's more than event, just one event now. It's a culmination of so many activities. And so it's a phenomenon, and the spirit it brings, and not just activities like we do, but something that is very unique. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your patience. Now we've come to the highlight of this program, where we will be listening to Hans and Christina officially launch the application process. I think they are going to play a video, a short video, and then after that, they will declare this application process launched. And I can see that there are a few people have questions. We're happy to take your questions even at the end. And the application, the website will also be soon made available, and you can read and just get all the information. If you have any specific question, do not hesitate to come back to us. So Hans and Christina, the mic is back to you now. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Dr. Jackie. And thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Kava. That was very powerful. And yeah, definitely brings tears to my eyes to hear that there's an Aviva phenomenon. And so I really appreciated it. So I am blessed and lucky that very emotional for us.
Oh, take heart, Christina. Take heart, Christina. It happens. The spirit of Aviva lives on, and in a very powerful way. It's across the world. Maybe if Aviva was there, nobody would know her. Just a little, maybe she would have just been a little child somewhere in a small quarter. But now the whole world is talking about Aviva, and Aviva is impacting lives. Strong.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Kava. Nothing can be better than that. But I'm very blessed that I come from a family of musicians here. Now that we're based in the US, my family's from Cuba, but we live in the US now. And actually, Aviva's godfather is an incredible musician and almost got famous a couple of times. But now he mostly writes songs about his children. But he wrote a beautiful, beautiful song right after Aviva passed. So I'm going to share that video so everybody can hear the song. He called it Aviva's Lullaby. And hopefully you will enjoy it. And let me know if there's any challenges with hearing Mr. Akava or Dr. Jackie. Okay, let's see here.
I've had too much time to think. Can't look myself in the eye. I've had too much wine to drink. 'Cause it's hard to say goodbye. But if we can share a dream from beyond the other side, I will always sing your songs. They're my baby's lullabies. And I held your hand from a distance, watching your footprints follow in the sun to a sea of heartbreaking waves. God showed the way as the two princes became one. Many million grains of sand passed between your tiny toes, travel far into the world, where your memories will grow, find their way into the stars, from the sea into the sky. Hear your voice and sing your song.
Let me just jump in without the permission of Dr. Jackie Franco. Oh my God, what a deep message. In fact, I will have to watch this over and over. And let me come forward to tell Christina and Heinz. Christina just shed some tears there. See that we'll be looking forward to shedding more tears, this time tears of joy for the many babies we've been able to save through the Aviva initiative. The babies that would have died if we did not do what we did. Back to you, Dr.
Thank you, James. Yeah, so we have come to the climax of this wonderful event, the launching event. So, Christina, I don't know if you and Hans are ready to officially launch the program.
Yes, we are very excited. Thank you, everyone. Today has been such a blessing. So we're officially launching the Aviva Women in Science Fund. We can't wait to get the word out and to receive applications and start reading. So please help us spread the word. And we hope to be meeting or reading applications from some of you very shortly.
Great. Guys, can we show some emojis and reactions to how we feel about this launch? Let me grab my emoji.
Okay, so Dr. Jackie, I don't know if you may give me permission to say a few more things.
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, yeah, before I give some concluding words, we may not be able to take questions now. We will sharing a lot on the Facebook page. So you can direct questions to the email address. You may direct questions to the Facebook, because we want you to read everything completely before you start asking questions, because some of the questions we want to ask now might already have been answered in the whole application. So we will share the, after this, please just check the OpenDreams Facebook page. We share all the information and the application link right there so that you can get to work straight away. So before my last words again, we'll be sharing more of the Aviva Day YouTube videos. Please watch them very well and make them, in fact, make your application the very best. And we have Gilbert Mickey, who just conducted research across, and he's one of the pioneer PhD scholars at OpenDreams. I just felt like he should take 2 minutes to give an appraisal of this session, and maybe some words to Christina and Hans, and some words to the students preparing to embark on the journey. 2 minutes only, and then we would have, counted this day a huge success. In fact, the foundation is solid, and we believe that the building will be super amazing. Over to you, Gilbert.
Thank you, James. Thanks, Jackie, for piloting this program. And special thanks to Hans and Christina for finding solace. I prefer using that word for finding solace in Aviva's life. I think this is one of the rare moments in the life of OpenDreams that we are showing to the world how we can turn negativity to positivity and actually impacting generations. Probably I just dropped a short message to Christina and Hans to say Aviva didn't need 100 years of physical presence here in this world. She needed just that opportunity to impact generations. And I think this is the moment, this is the opportunity. It's not time to even think that why is it that Aviva is not with us? Aviva will be with us. Aviva will be beyond us, and even generations to come, they will think of Aviva. I want to really encourage prospective applicants. It's not just a moment that we think there is something set aside to give out. Is something to bring out research that is going to influence practice, research that is going to influence policy, and above all, help government orient or give an insight to how some of these programs can be tailored to save lives in the near future. Thank you, James, for giving me the opportunity to speak, and thanks to the team that is running the program.
That's amazing. You've taken 2 minutes and given some very powerful words that will live long, will define our operations in the field. So very soon, we'll be hitting the field this Monday. We're going to the field for the Summer Academy campaigns. We're going to for Aviva Day, so we shall have flyers, we shall have Aviva, we shall have t-shirts for the Aviva scholars. And we want every one of us here to be a messenger, because we want to possibly attract the best. If you're applying, that's fine. If you need to build a team, that's fine. Remember that we are available to support you as much as possible so that we can together succeed, not for ourselves, but for humanity. So at this point, we will be summoning another meeting only for OpenDreams scholars, because here we have people from everywhere. So we'll summon another meeting only for OpenDreams scholars, to discuss the committees, and that will just be in about a day or two. We'll be sending some links for you to start looking at in terms of the voting, and then we come together and we conclude to move on. Okay, so that's said and done. I think we will plead with you. Just put on your camera only for a second. Give an Aviva smile. You watch the logo and everything and all the explanation, that transformation. By the time we are signing in for this meeting, we are very different people from who we are now. So we have transformed, right? The Aviva phenomenon, the old spirit. So just put on your camera with a broad smile for the future that we are defining, that we can do some screenshots. And after that, today is a very special Sunday. God is listening to us. So this is part of our church, praying for the survival of the newborn. So please put on your cameras. Let's take pictures, screenshots while you smile. Please do not reserve the smile. And I would also love to see what Dr. Wanyama has been doing. She's been posting a lot in this area on YouTube, and I hope all of us are following up. Until you make, until you get into childbearing, only then do you understand what it means to be with a baby for 9 months. You're doing baby bumps, you're celebrating, and someday things turn sour, and you feel like, wow, what went wrong? So we are, walking that path that will give every child a chance to succeed and have a life and enjoy this wonderful, this beautiful world. Okay, thank you everybody for responding to the camera. Have a very happy Sunday.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining. Bye.
Thank you.
We love you, Christina Hines. We love you, everybody.
Wow.
We love you. We love you.
Thank you, everybody. So nice to see your beautiful faces.
Wow. Wow.